All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we've got the Area 51 Racing League Super Speed Area 51 Cup Series. Apologies. Tonight at Dover, 100 laps. To say might as well be a super speedway with as fast as they're going to go around this track here. It looks like about 21-second lap times here in qualifying. So pull up our point standings entering the race tonight. You're going to see tonight's going to be the first of the 3 to go in the season. Right now, Maxwell Caldwell leading the way. Ryan Kelly is in second, 22 points out of the lead. And then in third, you've got Jack Walls, James Ledford in fourth, and Dalton Hayes rounds out our top 5. In 6th through 10th, you see you got Corey Cook, Dwight Plush, Corey Lane, Chad Wilkes, and then Jim Brooks. So we're going to let our drivers finish up their laps here, and then we'll get things underway. We'll get the starting grid settled up here. Let's say definitely, of course, definitely want to bring in my esteemed colleague Don Runkle Jr. He's going to be joining me in the booth tonight for this race tonight. We've seen Dover. We've raced here plenty of times, and we know this one can be a handful. So let me make sure I've got all my stuff set up correctly here. Alright, so we just got about 30 seconds left and we will get things underway. Hopefully everything's working smoothly. Been having a little bit of hiccups here with a few things, so definitely don't hesitate to let me know if there's anything going on. And we've got some insider info that we're going to need to keep an eye on, that number 34 machine. So we'll definitely keep an eye on him this evening. Of Jason Bridges, I believe that is in that 34 machine. I'll have to double check the car numbers here. Alright, qualifying just about completed, so let me go ahead and pull up our starting grid. Or not. Let's try one more time. So I don't know if we got a full moon or something tonight, but things are not wanting to cooperate this evening for me. Alright, also, while we're fighting everything right now, we're going to do the top 10 the old-fashioned way. So on pole position is going to be the 23 of Brendan Paslacqua. In second is Maxwell Caldwell. Chad Wilkes in third. Ryan Kelly in fourth. Todd Merkel rounds out our top 5. And then 6th through 10th, you've got Corey Lane, Charles Johnson, James Ledford, Mark Brown, and Jack Walls. So let me try to pull up my overlay one more time, and hopefully we can get it working. Otherwise, we're going to have to figure out a plan B here. So give me just one moment. We do have my colleague in the booth with me, Don Runkle Jr. So Don, I'm going to let you explain Dover to these drivers and fans tonight, so that way I can try to figure out stuff on the background.
No, totally, definitely. I hear you. We're having some technical difficulties here tonight, folks. But yeah, this 1 mile high banked oval here, man. Dover is a very unique track, concrete surface here, which makes for a little bit more unique situation as far as traction goes with these drivers. They can get pretty slick out here, Dover. And Dover, I mean, it's only a mile long, but man, this place kind of drives so fast, and it doesn't really drive like a short track. I mean, it's a mile long, but it definitely doesn't act like a short track. At least in my experience, it doesn't. And one thing about Dover is, man, those walls will come up on you super fast coming out of these corners here. You can easily get out of the groove here coming out of turn 2 or coming out of turn 4, especially turn 4, and smack that wall. And the thing about Dover is you got no place to run to the inside, no grass to run into, no field to run into in the front. You only got another wall that you're going to hit. So it's twice as bad when you get into a wreck here. This track can get blocked really quick if you get some cars stacked up and get into a wreck, and things can get ugly really fast. And you see the pace car is peeling off right now. Our drivers are going to be coming to this green flag here very soon, and not a very large field tonight. But Dover, that's the way this track is, man. This track is a lot of people don't like it, so they don't want to run here. Maybe, I don't know, but I actually personally like this track. You see these guys getting a pretty good start here. You're going to see these guys try to get single file, I would think, as soon as possible, because it is kind of difficult to pass here. I'm trying to do my best. I'm not exactly sure what you guys are seeing on the stream. So
no, yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's just under green. Brendan Pasalakwa's got a good getaway there. So trying to get something going so everybody can keep track of what's going on. Because yeah, for whatever reason, my overlays are not giving me much luck here. I'm not sure if there maybe I'm gonna hunt around and see if I can find some info. But so right now we're gonna for the moment. So say right now, though, Brandon Pasalakwa leading the way here over that number 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Again, Maxwell, one of those championship contenders, along with the I find him 13 of Ryan Kelly. But early on, though, and this is one of those tracks on where you got those comers and goers you're going to have to kind of keep an eye on, because it's really easy to kind of abuse your stuff early. But you see those top two just kind of running away from it here. I'm kind of thinking we're going to see Chad Wilkes and Ryan Kelly probably save their stuff and make a charge later on this run.
Well, right now I'm seeing Ryan Kelly make a charge underneath Chad Wilkes for that third position there. He dives right underneath him. Hasn't quite completed that pass yet, but he's attempting it. Trying not to leave that door open to lose another position, Ryan Kelly is.
Yeah, he's doing a good job right here. Saying Ryan's got to keep that 94 in his sights, and honestly wants to keep him in his mirrors. Again, he's got to gain some points on that 94 to help out his title chances here. Let's say you see right there though, with a 13 get around 17, that puts them in third and fourth. You got Todd Merkel there in the 81 in that fifth position. And then right behind them, you've got the 40 of James Ledford, and then you've got Charles Johnson right behind him, Mark Brown. And then Jack Walls rounding out or that's actually top 9, and so the 10 of Corey Lane rounding out our top 10 here.
And the thing about Dover is you can't have multiple grooves at this track, and it'll develop as the race goes on. But early on, man, this place can really come out and bite you. It can sneak up on you and grab you with that outside wall there. So you'll see these guys kind of pick and choose their battles of when they're going to pass. Right now, I'm looking at the battle with Chad Wilkes, and it looks like Todd Merkel behind him. And yeah, he's trying to stick his nose in there every now and then, Todd is, but just can't quite get that momentum. And sometimes the high line might be the way to go. And it's just Dover is just it's a really unique kind of track. I mean, especially with these cup cars and this the way this package is.
Yeah, with the high drag, high downforce with lower horsepower definitely makes this one you really send these things really aggressive. Tire, it just the drop down isn't nearly as much as what we've seen before.
And you're not really missing much out front right now. Brandon's still really kind of charging away with this lead right now. Doesn't really have any contenders. Maxwell in second, still behind him, but there's a pretty good gap between those two. And then you got Ryan Kelly in third. And as I said, there's a good kind of gap between him and Chad Wilkes in fourth. And Chad Wilkes right now, he's got the rest of the field behind him. He's got Todd Merkel, James Ledford, Mark Brown, Jack Walls, and Corey Lane and Doug Johnson to round out the top 10 there. And right now, Chad Wilkes right now, he's got a whole mirror full of Todd Merkel, and he's doing a really good job holding them off, just kind of running his own pace there, running a low line. You haven't seen him kind of run up high too much. And it looks like Todd tries to get a nose under there a little bit. He's trying to do it again right there, but says, nope, better not. I see smoke ahead of them.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think there's a little bit of a connection hiccup there.
Okay.
I'll say that always makes me nervous too. Oh, as I see, actually, we got trouble further back in the field.
Yes, we do.
Trying to catch where it was. I think it was the 66 possibly. No, he looks all right. I'll say whatever it was, they kept it in the right direction, so we stayed green actually. So good recovery from those drivers.
Damage through the field, and I don't see anybody with any significant damage. So
yeah, I thought it was a 66 initially, then maybe the 80, but yeah, both cars look good. So good job by them. But yeah, we've talked about these. Oh, it looks like the connection issue right now is Ryan Kelly. He's definitely having some hiccups on his side.
Oh, that's it. You're right. Yep, I'm seeing that too.
And I'm saying that's an issue because
place too.
I mean, so yeah, hopefully he's able to get it settled in.
He's back. I see him back.
Because yeah, I mean he's trying to
Oh,
catch that
nope, gone
94 for
again.
his connection, or he's trying to catch that 94. That's the title battle right now. So you see Ticker is back, so say we can see what's going on again. I'm gonna be watching the
There we
lap
go.
times as well. That's gonna be critical. So I want to see if that aggressive start for the 23 and the 94. Is it going to pay off, or is it going to start kind of biting them, maybe abuse that right front? Because this is a track where you got to be really easy on your tires. You can go and you can start setting
Caution is out.
qualifying.
Caution is out. I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah, you're
find out
right.
why.
47 car of Dalton Hayes is
47.
involved.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and see what happened here to Dalton to bring out this yellow. So it's looking like he may have just got tight out of turn 2. So that's definitely
Like I said, yeah, exactly what happened to him. I'm looking at it right now. Exactly what happened to him. And he locked down those brakes hard to not have his car go back up the track. And he did an excellent job of that. But that's exactly what happened to him. Like I was saying earlier, those corners coming off the corners can just come up and bite you. And that's exactly what happened to him. Knocked him to the inside wall.
Yeah, so you did amazingly here at Dover for this to be a single car incident. Like you said, Dalton did a
Yeah.
great job locking him down, made sure everything was clear before he got going again. So obviously you never want to be in an incident, but when you are, that's exactly what you want to do. And it looks like we've got pretty much all the leaders here are going to hit the pits here and get some service. We'll see if there's any strategy, if there's going to be any 2-tire stops, but I'm thinking we'll probably see pretty much a 4-tire cycle all the way through here.
Well, one good thing Dalton does have for him, he's got that fast repair, at least one of them that he can use and get that car right back out there. He might go a lap down here because, the towing in or whatever, but at least he can get back out on the track and maybe make up some ground. But yeah, too bad for Dalton Hayes there. Dover just the monster mile. Just jumped up and grabbed him.
Yeah, this is a track that bites, and we see that more often than not here. So this is a really difficult track. Say people have kind of also referred to as like a Bristol on steroids, if you will, just how fast it is. Obviously, Bristol being that half mile, Dover being a full 1 mile track. So yeah, it's definitely a wild one. So it's going to keep the drivers' hands full for sure. I think that's going to be the name of the game, is just try to keep those cars in one piece throughout the race here. So it looks like the 47 is going to pit. Again, though, right now he will be the only car 1 lap down, so he'll be in still pretty good shape, though, as this run progresses.
Yeah, I mean, he might, there could be another yellow come out, and if he stays in the position he's in, he'll definitely get the lucky dog. And I'm sure he's used that fast repair to be able to get that car fixed up and, get it all going again and make sure everything's good with it. He's probably taking another pit stop just so I'm not sure if he took a pit stop already, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this is his first. But yeah, he can get back out there and be able to still have something of this race.
And I'm just noticing I don't see any sound coming from the cars here. I'm going to make a quick adjustment here real quick, make sure we're not missing anything on my side.
No problem. But right now, yeah, Brandon still is your leader in that number 3 car or 23 car, pardon me, followed by Maxwell Caldwell in 94, Ryan Kelly in the 13, Chad Wilkes in the 17, and you got Todd Merkel in the number 81 car, rounding out your top 5 so far. We are under yellow here at Dover. And yeah, lights are still on in that pace car, so these guys will be going around again here. Like I said, Dover is definitely a tricky track to drive around. Those corners can come out and bite you. The car can tighten up real quick and just kind of push right up into that corner, and it's really something that you got to be careful about here at Dover.
Yeah, still not seeing. I'll say if anybody's able to listen to the stream or watch the stream, let me know if you hear any audio from the cars. Say I'm looking at my little overlays and I see no sound coming out of it, so that's why I wanted to double check here on my side. Hopefully,
for you.
I appreciate it.
Guy and I are going to be quiet for a little bit so we can see if we can hear him.
All right, so I'm gonna keep doing what I can here, try to figure out what's going on with the sound. Right now, it's I'm unfortunate to say we got some quiet cars on the track. It looks like so. We'll keep working on it though. Like I said, so right now though, Brandon Pasalacqua is still gonna hold on to lead, and you see he is away early. Say again, that's that recent rule change here, and you can see it caught a few drivers there by surprise. A really good start though for that 23. He's gonna grab the lead easily into one. Say now it's going to leave that 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Actually, we have a quick yellow in the back. Yeah, it looks like, we got the 36 and the 66. That's Art Peck and Mike Morrison. So we're going to have a quick yellow here.
Big damage on Mike Morrison.
Let's
what
see
happened to those guys. And this is definitely something that Dalton Hayes wanted to see. We were just talking about that. Dalton Hayes is going to be able to get that lucky dog. I don't think he was involved in this at all. So he'll be able to get that lucky dog and get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's perfect for that number 47 car. So I'm watching, as long as he wasn't involved, of course. But looks like just some tire spin, I think, from that 36, and tries to hang on to. Then unfortunately, at some point, it kind of snaps around, and so that's where
Dalton Hayes was so. If you watch this wreck, Gael, watch Dalton Hayes. I don't know if he is going to get a lucky dog. I don't know if he might have got a Phantom X or something, but he got so close to being involved in that. I don't think he did, but it was really close.
Yeah, I just watched it right now. Like you said, he was inches away from getting contact with that 66. Close. Yeah, so gonna be a quick yellow here. So I'll say while we're riding around into yellow again, we'll step away for just a moment. So I'm gonna keep fighting around, see if I get some sound working, and then we'll rejoin here in just a moment.
He was so close. That's crazy.
All right, yeah, sure enough, we do have cars back. Say they found the noisemakers again. So yeah, apologies for that. Say like I said, just things definitely not cooperating with me this evening. But again, just gotta keep persistent. So we've got sound. I say we've got tickers. I think we're pretty much ready to roll here. So right now we're on lap number 22 of 100. Got 79 to go. Probably gonna restart with just about 75 to go. Again, right now though, Brandon Pasalacqua leading the race on from the pole. Second place, Maxwell Caldwell. He is our points leader entering the event. At 13 of Ryan Kelly. So we've seen that little bit of a connection issue he's been running into at the moment. But his goal is going to be try to get around that 94 car and try to get a little bit of a gap on him. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that as things go. So again, really want to thank you all for your patience with everything. Bearing with us. Always little hiccups here and there. It's part of technology. So glad we got things working now.
I heard the vroom vroom noises, so we should be all good. Yeah, like you said, Brandon he's been having a great restarts on these two restarts that we've had so far in this race. So yeah, I don't foresee anything different from him up front, and Maxwell just gonna have to try to do something different here.
Yeah, saying you're lucky I got the sound worker. Otherwise, I was gonna have you be the in-car audio. So you're off the hook on that one.
I was gonna do it. I was ready to go too. I was ready to make the noises, the race car noises. I'm sure your viewership would have went into the negative, but
I was saying Dale's noticing our top mover right now in that number 76 machine. Jim Brooks started in the 17th position up into the 10th spot. Also,
True, yeah.
Michael Spell also up 6 spots there, so just one shy. Say Michael gone from 15th to 19th, or 15th to 9th, so great start for Michael as well here. Say again, if his dad's watching, he can see we got the updated paint scheme working on that number 88 Area 51 machine. Say now those blue wheels make much more sense with the blue car compared to those the blue wheels on a green car. So all is well there. Yeah, you're right. Lights are off. So again, drivers are going to have to be ready to react quickly because we've seen what happens. It's all up to Brandon when he wants to drop the hammer. And again, this is definitely a track where you can really easily spin those tires on these restarts. So we saw it happen that last time around. And saying also you'll see it even further up front as well. Like you might see Chad or Ryan Kelly as they try to react to that 23. It's so easy to get them to light them up.
Yeah, you are right about that, especially at this track.
All right, pace
Car has pulled off, and you see these guys are going to be going back up through the gears here soon. Brandon gets a hell of a start there.
Yeah, another great start for that number 23. So he gets nice, clean track in front of him. Now it's going to leave Ryan Kelly. Looks like Ryan's going to get around Maxwell. Chad Wilkes going to follow through. So not the restart that Maxwell's wanting to see there. I'll say that's just unfortunate, that downside of being on the outside line there on that restart. So Maxwell going to go from 2nd to 4th on the start. Again, still a lot of time to go. Say we're starting number 25 now. So we're just at about a quarter distance in this race.
You see one heck of a battle. Battle back here further back behind Maxwell with Todd Merkel, Jack Wells, James Ledford, man. These guys are all bumper to bumper here, man. Really battling for position.
Yeah, so this is when you got those new tires. You definitely want to try to use them early. Try to get those quick and easy wins, if you will, spot position-wise. But again, it's just so difficult. Do you see Todd's going to dive on the inside of Maxwell? Can't quite make it work. And then you see also James trying to get to the outside of Jack Walls. That actually costs him a spot. And then here comes that 388 of Doug Johnson. Doug's going to move up into that 7th position there.
Yeah, all these guys trying to make every single thing, pretty much trying to make use as best they can with these tires and trying to get as many positions as they can. It's so difficult to pass here at Dover. Right now, it's just basically a one-groove racetrack. As you can see, that Pennzoil car making a move on the inside of that number 81 of Todd Merkel. Jack Wells definitely trying to get his nose up under there, almost gets to the back of him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is you pretty much have to commit pretty aggressively to make it happen. You can see Todd's doing the same thing to Maxwell, but again, these guys all able to hold that inside line really well. And that's what's going to happen on these early runs. You're going to see everybody's just going to be pretty much locked to the bottom. That's going to be where they're going to run here for the good chunk of this race until those tires start wearing out. And that's where you're going to see if drivers start abusing that right front tire. That's where you're going to see that push, and that's when those windows are going to start opening up for drivers to make those moves.
And on these tires, the first 10 laps on these new tires are the most important. They really are. You can really bird up your tires in these first 10 laps, and it can mess the restful run up for you. So you really have to take care of your tires in these first 10 laps. That's the most important on the run. After that, I'm not saying you can abuse them, but that's the most important to me is if you can get through that first 10 laps and take care of your tires and just keep going with that pattern of taking care of your tires, then you should be able to make it through the run a lot better. And you can see right now, man, we have a really good battle going on with 4th and 5th here.
I was going to say,
3rd and 4th, I'm sorry.
Oh, you see Maxwell caught the apron, definitely messed up his exit there. We'll see if the 81's able to capitalize. You see him, he's going to take a look.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to say he's going to take a look there. I was going to give you a hard time there, so I don't think the 23, Brendan Pastelacqua, I don't think he was listening to you about that saving tires on those first 10 laps, because he is gone. 3.25 second lead for him over that 13 of Ryan Kelly. So I say we'll see how that short run versus long run speed turns out if we're able to get a long enough run. But right now, I say Brandon's definitely enjoying the view from that 23 machine. As you do see, Todd Merkel does get around Maxwell, and now Jack Walls in the 83 trying to follow suit here on that inside as well.
Yeah, Brandon has just made this race his own. He's basically in a whole nother zip code. Ryan is back there in 2nd place, and he is pretty much has no chance right now of catching Brandon if he keeps up this pace. But Ryan is also running a pretty fast pace himself to 3rd place, Chad Wilkes, who once again, as we saw in the first run, Chad Wilkes in 3rd place is the guy that has to hold off the rest of the field, but 1st and 2nd just kind of cruise off.
Yeah, so I'm going to watch this. I'm going to see if the lap times start to switch a little bit here. Because I say, again, we talked about just how aggressive that 23 was to take off. And again, we talk about Ryan Kelly. He's kind of Mr. Long Run. So I wonder if we're going to see that. I say we've gone about 15 or so laps under green here. I want to see if we're going to see that kind of that cycle of speed kind of switch between that 23 and the 13 as these laps kind of keep unfolding here.
And you can see right now Chad Wilkes has got another challenge on him with Todd Merkel. It looked down low but didn't quite make the move, but he's still considering it. You can see these guys still quite aggressive here on this run. They're still trying to get those spots, still trying to get those runs. But here at Dover, it's just like we were talking all night so far. It's so difficult to pass here. You have to take advantage of the runs that you can get, and you basically just have to worry about, just have to kind of watch the guy in front of you, wait for him to make a mistake, wait for him to maybe get into the corner wrong, get off the corner wrong, push up a little bit, and be able to capitalize on the mistake that the guy in front of you makes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. See, and that's I think what you see here. A lot of these drivers just trying to stay right on that back bumper. And try to force them into a little bit of pressure, force them to maybe overshoot the turn a little bit, and that's where you poke that nose in. But so far, all these drivers up front just holding a really steady line right here. Say one driver we haven't mentioned yet, Robbie Richards, right now in the 8th spot, started 14th. He's starting to catch that group. Oh, I saw one there towards the back, get a little bit loose off of 2. Looks like he keeps it in the right direction. That was the 34 of Jason Bridges. Really good save by him, hanging on to that one. So you see he's going to get settled back in front of the 10 of Corey Lane, but Corey's the same, like you said, he wants to waste no time. He's going to try to jump inside and grab that spot from that number 2 car here.
And Jim Brooks, too, we were talking about him earlier, starting 17th in the field, currently in 10th, worked his way up there. We were talking about before he was in 10th, so he hasn't fallen back, or he hasn't, oh, we have a caution on the field.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the 10 of Corey Lane who's just there, so I wonder if he was involved. Oh, it's actually a 78 there as well with Nicholas Winook. Let's go and see where I say, because Corey was right there in that battle with that number 2 car, so I wonder if that was related to it or if it was something else.
Like a net code almost. Wow.
Well, that's possible.
I mean, from my end, it did.
Because I say Corey's actually in, I believe, New Zealand, I want to say, so there is that potential. So I'm watching as they come out.
I'm watching. It looked like netcode to me. I mean, he did get a little loose.
Oh, big netcode. Yeah. No, that's big netcode there.
Yeah, you could see the cars come towards each other, but there was still plenty of space between the cars. But that definitely was a netcode situation there, it looked like to me.
No,
and once that happened, the 10 of Corey Lane, he just kind of he had nowhere to go, and and then who was it? The other car that got involved, I couldn't see.
That was the 78. Yeah, Nicholas Winook.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was definitely netcode. I say we caught a pretty good view of it, and yeah, it was unfortunate. That was a pretty bad hit.
That.
Yeah, so it looks like Corey's going to stay out here. Probably just try to get a lap lead here and then go ahead. Unless he got trapped behind the pace car. Let me see. Oh, yeah, actually.
See, this is, I know we got these guys coming to pit stops right now, but I know going back to the kind of fast repair kind of thing, because I know some people, they don't like the fast repair thing in races, and some guys, are okay with it. To me, right there, that netcode incident, that's a perfect example of why I'm glad there are fast repairs, because that was, to me, of no fault of any of those drivers, but they can all get back out there with a fast repair and continue on with their race to something that had no fault of their own.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I say, close fight off of the pits. Oh, I saw that too. Brandon got loose. He's trying to gas it to get around the 13. We'll have to see where I'm not sure the pit line was. I don't think it was at the cones. I think it's at that first white line. So I think the 23 just has to kind of blink and he's there. So we'll see if he sneaks around the 13 or not. It looks like
isn't that the cone?
That might be. I say he's actually staying behind the 13 here. So Ryan Kelly may have grabbed the lead here.
Yeah, if it's the cone, then Ryan Kelly, that was a great thing for him right there, because we know how Brandon's been able to get on these leads here, or on these restarts. He's been able to get a great start, so now Ryan Kelly has that chance.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about, that rule change. It's really been a huge advantage for some of these drivers being able to control the restarts and have that little bit of advantage, kind of the perks of being the leader on the restarts. So sure enough, yeah, looks like Ryan Kelly's going to control this one. So great job by him in the pits, getting in and out of his pit stall quickly. Says I'm looking at the pit stop time. It shows the 13 and the 23 both had 14-second pit stops on the dot there. So say they were pretty even there. And I believe I see Maxwell Caldwell in 5th position, so I think he came out right around where he was. But again, though, this is going to be advantage, I feel like, to Ryan Kelly in that championship battle. Because again, I say he's going to try to keep that 13 in his mirrors. I say you just got to keep closing the gap in these this race, and then of course the remaining 2.
And that just goes to show you how important it is to get a clean entry and exit off pit road right there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's something of some of these drivers they week in, week out. I mean, they can hit their marks perfectly. I watch some of these drivers, like some drivers, of course, do their streams and broadcasting, and I try to learn from them and such because I'm an over driver. I always overshoot my pit stall, have to reverse back into it. So I gotta learn from some of these guys here.
No, definitely, and it's just as important. Pit road entry, exit, being able to get down pit road without speeding, you'll be able to get in your pit stall without sliding through. All those different things. It's just as important for that because that's the easiest place to gain and lose positions is on pit road. I mean, it's so difficult. The guys can work for 10, 20 laps trying to work on a guy to make a pass on the track, and on pit road it can happen in no time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you think about it, a second on the track, it seems like a huge distance, but if you lose a second in the pits, you're going to go from 1st to probably 6th or something like that. That's just how competitive it is here.
Exactly. And as you see, the lights are off on the pace car there. And for once, we're going to see Ryan Kelly in the lead position to be able to see how good of a start he gets. Oh, wait, I'm not on live.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see how it's gonna pan out on this one. So we've seen Brandon have the pace. He's had the clean air from the get-go, so he's obviously gonna be quick on the reaction time. But then we'll see, is Ryan gonna try to fight him, or is Ryan gonna just kind of still run his own pace? Because exactly. we haven't had that really long run yet. We'll see. It still could happen. You never know. So we'll wait. Pace car's in. We'll see when that 13 is gonna fire off here.
Yeah, I hate that yellow came out, but I'm interested to see how this early start goes. And yep, Ryan Kelly, he learned from Brandon, and he didn't jump it, but went early. He is the leader. He can control the start. And we're going to see if that's going to be to his advantage here. As Brandon's going to have to fight off Chad Wilkes for that second position.
Yeah, it's a good battle right there coming out of turn number 2. 17-23 side by side entering turn 3. Looks like 17's going to send it on in there. He's going to grab the spot. But Brandon's going to jump back in line, make sure he doesn't open up the door for that 94 of of Maxwell Caldwell.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, Ryan Kelly still got a good lead on his hands there, but Chad Wilkes and Brandon back there in a deep battle for that second position.
Yeah, Brandon wants that spot back there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and he's been the fast car tonight. Ryan's been the fast car tonight, but it's so difficult to pass here. And you can see him work to the inside. He's going to try to make that pass. He's going to try to complete it coming out of the corner here so he can get a good, clean run and make a run to that lead. And he does. He's going to be able to clear that second or that third place driver and work his way up into second position. Now he's got his eyes set on Ryan Kelly.
Yeah, Maxwell looks like he's going to try to follow through. Looks like he will grab the spot. Saying Chad Wilkes now just pinned to the top. He's under attack now. He's got the 81 of Todd Merkel right underneath him. So Chad's going to have to fight hard here on that outside because he's got he's got a whole line of cars right behind him. So as they are tight off of 2. But right now, still that 17 just holding enough ahead, but he's got to try to clear that 81 on the exit. That way he can get that inside line back into return 1. But right now, Todd Merkel's got that position still.
Still door to door going into the corner, still side by side, and it's so difficult to be able to hold side by side here at Dover. There's so little room. Oh, and you can see the 17 scrape the wall just a little bit. Oh, they almost look like they touched.
Yeah, I was close there.
A little bit, but no, they get back in line.
But you see there, though, that 17 was in second spot, lost the spot to the 23, and then from there, just everybody was able to jump to his inside. So definitely an inside line is where you want to be, and I believe Brandon's got back to the back bumper of that 13 of Ryan Kelly. So we got another battle for the lead here brewing. So we'll see if that 23 is able to find a way around the 13 car. So I said, I don't think Ryan's going to want to give it up. He can kind of control everything right now. If he can keep that 23 at bay, see if he can get him to burn up those tires and then make the run as this run gets longer as the tires wear even more.
Exactly. If he can take Brandon's line away from him and protect that low line, because that's where he's going to try to pass him, is that low line. If he can protect that low line, kind of do a little bit of mirror driving here a little bit. Like you said, as the leader, he is kind of in that better position there, and maybe make Brandon burn those tires off a little bit, work that right front more than he wants to as he's trying to get past his leader here. And even doing so, that second and third place drivers might be able to catch up to these two and get themselves here in this battle. It looks like they might be closing up a little bit.
Yeah, they're about 2 tenths. Oh, you see Brandon try to make the top side work there. Couldn't get it to stick, though, so he's going to lose a little bit of momentum there, so he's going to regroup. But like you said, though, that's bringing Maxwell Caldwell, Todd Merkel right back into this fight here. So we've got 4 cars right now within a second of the lead. Chad Wilkes is able to, he's in that same boat again, and he's trying to hold off the rest of the field behind him. So I think Chad's just trying to save some tires for that long run that he hasn't been able to take advantage of yet. So he's doing everything he can right now to keep that 83 of Jack Wells at bay here.
Yeah, and this lead is really starting to, this fight for the lead is really starting to heat up here. Ryan Kelly showing, he's showing a lot of patience here, man. He's not giving him the bumper. He's racing him nice and clean. Ryan Kelly's able to hold him off really well here. And second and third place is just out of reach. As you see, Brandon's going to try to put his nose up underneath again. Looks underneath, but can't quite make the pass. He's not quite there. But he's definitely letting Ryan Kelly know that, hey, I'm right here and I'm looking.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's a risk versus reward for Ryan Kelly. It's like, well, I know you want to win, but how hard are you going to fight me for it? Because I'm not in the title fight here. You want to keep this spot. You don't want to obviously Brandon's not going to wreck him, but it's just one of those things like, what's the risk for you,
Exactly. You got a great, another great battle back here. Chad Wilkes and Jack Walls, Robert Richards, all these guys back here. Once again, Chad Wilkes is finding himself in a position where he's basically got a whole bunch of cars behind him that he's trying to hold off as he's watching those guys in front of him walk away.
Yeah, I say 5th on back are all just pretty much all lined up here from 5th all the way to back to looks like about 15th there. Jack right on the back. I think he actually made contact with the 17 there coming out of 2. Hey, everybody keeps it straight there, but you see Jack, I think, backed off just to try to make sure he actually didn't spin that 17 around. That just shows how close and how hard they were fighting there for that spot. It says we've already crossed the halfway point. We're coming across here. We've got 44 to go in the race. And again, still things up front are tight at the lead. Ryan Kelly still just holding that 23 at bay, but you can see the gap starting to grow just a little bit. We'll see if that tire wear might be starting to finally show its face a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Brian just had to hold him off just enough to maybe get those tires worn just a little bit. And, the 23 might also be playing a little bit of sandbagging here a little bit. He might be slowing down just a little bit, not to wear those tires out too much, just kind of holding his position. He's in a nice, comfortable spot. He's kind of falling back more than he probably wants to, though. And Ryan Kelly right now is going to be our leader so far. We saw early on in this race, Brandon, when he was out front, he was able to just really walk away from this field. I think he had a 3-second lead up at one point before these cautions kind of shuffled things around and put Ryan Kelly in a position to be able to jump out front here.
Yeah, I'll say once Ryan had to control that start, that's pretty much, it seems like, what he needed there. I'll say lap times Ryan is starting to stretch it a little bit. I say he's, I think, actually the only driver still running in the 22-second bracket. Everybody else is now up into the 23. So say Ryan doing what Ryan does. I'll say he knows how to make this car keep those tires happy, and then say get those 10, 15, 20 laps underneath them, and saying that's when he really starts to shine, and he's doing that again here tonight.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking back through the field. Guys that we've talked about earlier. We were talking about Dalton Hayes earlier. He was a driver that went a lap down and started 13th. He's on the lead lap. Work has just made a pass for 12th position, so he's still on a decent run tonight. Glad that he got his lap back, I'm sure. And we got some pretty good racing throughout the field here. I mean, a lot of these guys are kind of nose to tail. They're just kind of maybe biding their time to make positions on each other throughout the field. As you see, is that Maxwell Caldwell making a position or making a pass for third?
Yeah, for a second, actually. Yeah, it's Maxwell up into the second spot. So and I was talking to Maxwell and Ryan here after the race last week, just kind of seeing how things were going. I say, because again, Maxwell and Ryan are teammates as well. So I say they were kind of ribbing each other, talking about Maxwell, of course, felt really good about that Michigan race going into it, and saying he delivered with that dominant performance. But Ryan was saying these next couple of races were definitely in his wheelhouse, and so Maxwell's definitely a little worried about the longer green flag runs, but I mean he's been doing a really good job here. Like I said, got back up into that second position now. So that's the thing, is you just got to capitalize on if your opponent, this might be his wheelhouse, But if you can get a good run yourself to kind of minimize the damage done, I mean, that's I think job number one for that 94 car.
You know, and I think Ryan Kelly right now is running a very smart race. Early on in this run, he made sure on that restart that he was going to be able to get that lead on Brandon. He knew how fast he was on these restarts. And then he made Brandon really work to try to get that lead away from him. And I think he made him work so hard that he really did work those tires way too much. As you said, he's fallen back now to third place as Ryan Kelly has worked his way to a pretty dominant lead so far over his teammate Maxwell Caldwell, who's kind of hunting him down right now. But yeah, I think tires were the name of the game right there, and that early run of that after that restart, and Brandon just was not able to save his tires as good as he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how fast this race is going. I mean, we're already at 35 to go.
Yeah.
And you're right, though, actually. I'm watching lap times. That last time by, Maxwell was actually about a tenth quicker than Ryan. So, maybe Maxwell's kind of learning a little bit to try to see if he can beat that 13 car at his own game here. But Brandon's still not giving up the ghost either. He's still right in the mix, just under 2 seconds off the lead, just about a second behind Maxwell. And I think I'm watching that 17 of Chad Wilkes. I think he's starting to release the sandbags from that 17 car as well.
I see that too.
You see he just got around Todd Merkel for that 4th position, so that moves him up now into that 4th spot. Moves Todd back to 5th right now. So yeah, so
Jim Brooks just got around Jack Walls. So that's going to put Jim Brooks up into the 8th position and drop Jack Walls back into the 9th position there.
Yeah, I think that's just the tires. I think drivers are some might be a little more aggressive than others. We saw Jack working really hard over that 17, and so it might be a similar situation that we saw with that with the number 23 car trying to get around Ryan Kelly. Just didn't quite pan out. Another driver that's had a good run here is Robert Richards, started 14th up into the 6th position in that number 12 machine. So good run for Robbie here so far. Saying it looks like I see the 83 of Jack Walls in the pits. So I'm wondering if we might have some green flag pit stops potentially, or this may be an unscheduled stop for Jack. I'm not sure.
I was just going to ask you about that. Do these guys have enough fuel to make it to the end? It's been such a long time since I ran a race at Dover. They got to. It's short track here, they have to.
I'm curious. I'll say we're at lap 30, so if they might be, I don't know. I don't think they can run 30 laps. Again, they do run reduced fuel loads here.
Oh, that's
so
right.
Jack might be doing the risk here of doing that short pit strategy and kind of just split the run in half here, because we have 30 to go and he pitted on lap 30 of that run. So I think he's just kind of taking that gamble of the risk of getting trapped a lap down or two. Whereas, of course, a lot of these other drivers think are going to be a little more tentative about doing that, because actually now that I say that, here comes Jim Brooks in the 76. He's going to do the same. So yeah, sure enough, I think we are going to see some. If this stays green like it is, I think we will see some green flag pit stops here.
I think you are right about that.
So yeah, so we'll see. It looks like it's also 4 tires and fuel for that 76 machine. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to watch, because the other thing now is that 13 Ryan Kelly, he's now in some traffic. You see he's trying to work around the top side there, Mike Morrison. That's going to cost him a little bit of lap time. You can see actually the gap there shrinking almost instantly. Went from about a second to about 7/10 there with Maxwell Caldwell. But again, though, once Maxwell, he's going to have to do the same thing, get around the 66. So it's going to be a wash. Oh, the 66 gets loose off of 2. Good save by Mike. Let's say here comes that 23 Brandon Pasalacqua, going to follow along as well. So now the next thing.
Definitely. Oh, I was going to say that 66, definitely. It was a nice save there. It got a little loose there on the down low. I don't know if he hit the apron just a little bit, but there is a good drive from there by Mike Morrison.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching lap times now. I think that's going to be pretty important to see who's able to do what. Looks like Jack Wall's running 22 flat leaders. We're running 23 sixes right now, so about a 1.5 second difference with the new tires versus old. But again, as you see the 78 there, looks like he got loose off of 4. He drops to the apron. See, Maxwell going to sneak around him.
That's another thing about these guys pitting like they are. That put Jim Brooks, Jack Walls, that put those guys 2 laps down. Pitting here at Dover, it'll put you 2 laps down very easy under green. And then you got to be careful if a yellow comes out, now you're 2 laps down. You're going to be able to get one maybe with a wave around, but you're still going to be a lap down. And then you got to worry about that. So if you are chancing it here at Dover, things can happen so fast here.
It's a very big risk versus reward move for sure. Say obviously right now it's looking great for them. Let's say Jim just ran a 21.9, or actually 21.862, just about his quickest lap. Oh, sorry, 22.862. Again, leaders though in the 23.6s. So again, he's still quicker than them by almost a second. And I think it's probably also while trying to work his way through traffic here as well.
Yeah.
So I think actually the 76 and the 83, yeah, they're actually right here lockstep with each other, trying to work their way forward. But they're about a full straightaway behind the leader here, so they'd still have a ways to go to get one of those two back.
And that's you're talking about risk versus reward. These guys have to, they can't really control what the other drivers do out there. If somebody causes a caution, then you know they're caught laps down, and they have to worry about that until the leaders make their pit stops, which is what we're going to be looking for here. Ryan Kelly, Maxwell Caldwell, and Brandon. I can never pronounce his last name.
Oh, Brandon Pasalacqua.
Pasalacqua. I just need that.
No
we need
worries.
to think. We need to think of a nickname for Brandon, so it's easier.
Well, we'll see. I say hopefully we'll get an interview with him. I'll say we can definitely quiz him on what if he wants a good nickname here. So the other one I say now we see also those fresh tires sneaking around the 17 of Chad Wilkes. Chad's been he's been trying to close that gap as well. He's ran a little slower than last time, but I think letting that 83 and the 76 go there. But that's gonna be the question now too. Is gonna be who's gonna be the first lead lap car to blink. If they do have to make it to the end on one more stop, which I mean, if I see two of those drivers pitting there, Jack's usually one that's pretty on top of the pit strategy, so I feel like they will have to make a stop. But I think it's just these drivers probably afraid, like you said, to get trapped that lap down here.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just curious how far these guys can actually go on fuel here. I mean, they pitted pretty early there. Man,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering about that because these laps are tying down here. You know, are they going to do it with like 10 to go here if they have to, or how far can they go?
Well, I'll say that's the other thing too. Is I mean, there might be some strategy where some of these drivers are like, "Hey, we can't make it, but let's say we're 5 laps short. I'm just going to take a splash of fuel and just live with the old tires on the exit of the stop there." That's always a potential as well. So, and it's actually jumping back a little bit. Got a good battle here with Robbie Richards. It looks like he just got around the 81 of Todd Merkel, so Robbie now up into the top 5. And so you can see the 81 of Todd Merkel. Now he's got the 68 of Mark Brown right underneath him. This is for the 6th position. As it looks like Mark's been able to keep those tires underneath that 61 or 68 car, I should say, pretty well so far here. So right now, not too much change up front. 17 of Chad Wilkes, though, he has chased down that 23 Brandon Pasalacqua. I think those tires are starting to give up a little bit on the 23, but I think the 17s also. I think his tires are starting to really come in as well. So we saw how easy he was taking it early on in that run.
Usually Chad Wilkes, you see him able to get by Braden there.
Yeah, so it's going to move Chad now up into that 3rd position. So I'll say right now the gap between the leaders is about 2.5 seconds, and then about another 2.5 to that 17 of Chad Wilkes. So right now, again, none of the leaders are pitting here so far. And that's kind of where if I'm that 23 car, I mean, you see the lap times. We saw how fast Brandon was by himself. If you do have to make a pit stop, I mean, I would just try something different here because you haven't got the track position you wanted. Why not just go full send and see what you can do? And
I mean, I know me and we've been racing together for a long time. Usually our strategy is to just kind of run it dry because we're always afraid to caution coming out and get caught a lap down.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm slow. So, I mean, that's why I got to do it. But, yeah, so you see actually Jack Wells, he's going to get one of those 2 laps back. So he's back in that spot that he wants to be in. Now Jim Brooks is going to try to follow suit, but you see a lot of traffic here. 3 wide off of 2.
3 wide, wow.
Great job by all those drivers hanging on to it, though. So now Jim's going to try to chase that 13 and try to grab that spot as quick as he can. Because, again, you never know how fast these things will happen. So he's going to duck to the inside of Ryan. I'm sure Ryan knows he's got fresher tires. Probably won't put up too much of a fight in there. There goes Ryan. He says, yeah, go on right away. I've got my own plan here.
Right now, our lucky dog is going to be Doug Johnson. He's running 10th. So this kind of shows you how many guys right now are a lap down.
Yeah, Ryan's putting on a pretty wicked pace right now. Chad Wilkes, though, I mean, he was they were letting some lap cars by. I would say Chad was 0.4 of a second quicker that last time by, and saying you can see the gap is down to about 3.5 seconds or so. He is not too far away from that number 94 Maxwell Caldwell now for that 2nd spot as they come out of turn number 2.
And I'm watching this battle between, I guess, the lap down cars, Jack Walls and Jim Brooks right now.
Yeah, so now let's say, I mean, say they work together, so I'm not sure how hard they'll fight each other, but you can see though they haven't really been able to sneak away from that 13 Ryan Kelly. So let's say the more they fight, the closer they're going to bring Ryan into this mix still. So yeah, so you got a couple little battles going on here. So again, that second place battle definitely has tightened up. And yeah, you're right. We're coming around here. Say we're at, looks like, yeah, 11 to go that last time around. Oh, 388.
Any of these guys? Oh.
That was a close call there.
Yeah.
Maxwell and Chad just sneaked on by there, but I'm curious to say, I wonder if anybody's going for full fuel save. Let's say maybe some people actually didn't think that they could make it that can, so we'll wait and see. But Chad's going to jump to the inside of Maxwell here and grab that second spot to move Chad now up into second. As we have 10 to go at the line. Say again, Chad's got about 3 seconds to get to Ryan Kelly. Let's say, but the other problem though is Ryan's got a bunch of lap cars in between himself and also in front of him actually. And you mentioned Jack Walls and Jim Brooks. Jim's been able to get by him and sneak away here. I see the 48.
Lap down now.
Yeah, Jack's going back down to that 2 laps down, so he burned up his
that's
stuff.
That's the car that Chad Wilkes is going to have to deal with. So any cars that Ryan deals with, Chad has to deal with too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you see the 48 of James Ledford is in the pits. So say that's another driver making pit stops. So far, drivers we've seen pit are Jack Walls, Jim Brooks, looks like Art Peck, Mike Morrison, and now James Ledford. So again, I'm a little curious. I'll say, can anybody make it, or are they just waiting as long as possible to pit? And again, probably
try to find out.
Yeah, so that's the only way we're going to find out here. We're just going to have to sit back and watch. But again, though, right now that 13 Ryan Kelly still holding a pretty good lead here. Chad's closing gap a little bit. You can see he's about a full straightaway behind. He's got 2 lap cars in between himself and that 13. But right now, say Ryan Kelly doing exactly what he needs to do to try to get maximum points. See if he can close that gap on our points leader, that 94 of Maxwell Caldwell.
And it shows you how quickly a race can change here at Dover. We saw the first part of this race with Brandon just being dominant as our leader, and then it just takes one mess up on pit road. Just Brandon spinning his tires a little bit coming off pit road for Ryan Kelly to be able to get that lead. Oh, and you see a car right behind Ryan hit the outside wall.
Yeah, that was Todd Merkel. So that car didn't turn us. I almost wondered he might have a tire down on that 81.
Yeah.
Oh, you see Chad Wilkes gets right to him. Or sorry, Chad Wilkes, I'll say he had to back off not to get into the back of Todd Merkel there. Oh, Chad actually gets the wall off of 2. Yeah, so he just messed up his whole angle in that turn here. So that's going to cost him definitely some time as well. So say we're coming around here to 5 to go already at Dover. Again, that's just how quick these laps go. So he's going to sneak underneath that 47 of Dalton Hayes. So that's going to put now 7th place a lap down. Again, only 6 cars on the lead lap. Again, just showing how fast that 13 car has been tonight. So again, we'll see on the fuel window, can anybody stretch it to the end? Because, I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe Ryan Kelly, he's just kind of waiting the last second. Maybe he's still going to have to make a pit stop. Say that could sneak it where that 17 or the 94, maybe they're going full fuel save. Or maybe that 23, Brandon Pasalaco, maybe he's gone full fuel save as well. So
that could be true, too. I mean, you never know what might come here. I mean, these laps are going down here, and I'm starting to wonder. I mean, are these guys going to have enough fuel to make it right now? Ryan Kelly with a pretty dominant lead right now over Chad Wilkes, but do these guys have enough fuel to make it to the end here as we have, what, 3 laps?
3 to go, yeah, 3 to go there. So you see Ryan's catching the 20 of Charles Johnson. Charles going to give him the bottom, lets him go on by. So again, you can see definitely a lot of respect being shown to our leaders here. Chad Wilkes got a handful of lap cars though right in front of him. He's going to have to negotiate around. Let's say as Ryan Kelly's going to come around to 2 to go. As I see, the 388 is slow on the apron there. He stays pointed forward, so we stay green as we have 2 to go. And still, I see nobody else on the pit. So I think
Ryan Kelly looking for
they're
that
just
white
going
flag.
for
That's
it.
what he wants to see.
Yeah, no, if you're that 13 car, you just want to see that white flag as soon as possible.
That's another thing. If we get a green-white checkered, the fuel situation. I mean,
it's all going to be for naught here. So, but here comes Ryan Kelly off of 4. Gets the white flag. That's going to be the perfect thing for him in his eyes. He's got clear track in front of him, so he's just going to probably coast it around to the end. So at this point, I think he could actually probably coast and still get the win here. Chad Wilkes, he's got a couple lap cars in between himself and that 13, but again, just too much gap to make up there.
Sputtering. He's going to be able to make it to the line, and Ryan Kelly is going to be our winner here at Dover International Speedway.
Yeah, it looks like Chad Wilkes is going to grab that 2nd spot, and then Maxwell Caldwell is going to hang on to 3rd here. Looks like just hanging on in front of that 23 of Brandon Pasalaco. So Looks like that pit strategy for some didn't work out as well as others. I'm saying still 2 cars to a finish. So you see Mark Brown grabbing that top 5, and then Robbie Richards there holds on to that 6th position. So I'll say 6 cars that hung on to the lead lap there. Great job by them. But yeah, I'll say Ryan Kelly, though, he's going to be the one that gets it done tonight here at Dover. So you talked about those that made those pit stops. Jim Brooks is able to still recover and get back up into the top 10 there. So again, we talked about that risk versus reward. Didn't pan out as well as he thought. Maybe some drivers had a little bit better fuel mileage than he expected. But yeah, Brian Kelly though pulls off the win tonight here at Dover.
And 6 cars in the lead lap. I mean, it just shows you how competitive it was tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, like you said, once Ryan got control of the race, could control everything. I mean, he's a tough one to beat, and he just proved it again.
That seemed to be the factor tonight, is whoever can just get in control of this race, be out front and get in control of this race, was going to be able to do whatever they needed to do to win. They had it in hand. I mean, we saw that early with the 23 car Brandon, and now when Ryan Kelly was able to take advantage of that restart, and he was able to dominate this race. He was able to take control of it from the start, from his restart, and just all the way here to the checkered flag and get that win tonight.
Yeah, it was a great job by Ryan Kelly. I say pretty much, honestly, I mean, the whole field did a great job this evening. Again, this is a really difficult track to race at. So I'd say only the 3 cautions. I mean, that's a great job by all these drivers. So hats off to them. Say that being said, though, we got to find our top 3 and get some interviews with them. So we'll go and start pulling them up here in just a moment. So we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher, that 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. So that he was our points leader entering the race. So I say he did a good job to minimize damage here. So I say we're going to pull him in. I say we'll let Don grab an interview with our 3rd place finisher, that 94 of Maxwell Caldwell.
We're here with our 3rd place finisher, the number 94 car, Maxwell Caldwell. Started this race tonight in 2nd place, finished at 1 spot shy of where he started in 3rd, but still had a great run tonight here at Dover, man. Did you think you're going to be able to have anything for Ryan or Chad tonight, man? Dover just seemed like it was punishing on tires.
Yeah, that's an absolute big fat no on them too. I had nothing for those guys. Knew that kind of coming into this week. I think I heard in the broadcast y'all were talking about me and Ryan talking about it, and I knew for a fact Ryan was going to best me here at Dover. I was just looking for a top 5. This is probably one of my worst tracks on the circuit. I don't know how to save tire here. I think I finished the race with 10% left on the right front, so I don't know what else to do. And Chad was telling me he had 44% on his. So, I mean, I can't save tire here. I was hoping for short runs all night to be able to stay up front, but luckily that long run I saved enough to get a top 3. It'll help me not lose as much, but then Ryan led the most laps, so he's got 2 extra bonus points. So just be on to the next one for us, but come out here with a cushioning a blow, kind of. So I'm okay with the top 3 for sure.
Hey, man, top 3 finish is great, especially for a track that you say is one of your worst tracks. Yeah, tires is definitely hard to save here tonight, man. This concrete surface is so unique. You got anybody that might have been watching the broadcast night? Anybody that you want to thank for this 3rd place finish that you got here?
Just got my teammates that we run with each and every week. Ryan Kelly, Larry England kind of up on the box for Ryan, helping all of us a little bit. Chad Wilkes running with him, just same guys we run with week in, week out, and you see it pays off. We help each other in practice, and then we finish 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of awesome. So on.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm ready for next week. I think I may have something a little more for Ryan next week. So it's going to be close down to the end. I'm excited.
Well, man, hey, congratulations on your 3rd place finish tonight. It's very obvious that you guys are working as a team and trying to get things done. And yeah, great finish for you tonight, man. Congratulations, Maxwell Caldwell, that number 94 car, bringing home a 3rd place finish tonight.
All right, so say it's Maxwell, 3rd place. Yeah, again, points. Our points leader entering the race should still hold on to the points lead, I believe, after tonight's race. But again, it's going to close the gap a little bit as we're going to have 2 races remaining. Which actually, I'm going to hunt down and see what our final 2 races are going to be. It's going to be Phoenix and Vegas. So say Phoenix will definitely be a tough one. I say, and then we'll have the finale at Vegas. So that's going to be an exciting final 2 races there for sure. Before we get to that, though, we got to grab our 2nd place finisher, that number 17 of Chad Wilkes. I'm mixing up all my words here today. Let's grab that number 17 here. And say we'll let Don have a chat with Chad Wilkes there in that number 17 Area 51 Chevrolet Camaro.
Yeah, Mr. Chad Wilkes here, number 17 car. Brought that car home to a second place finish after starting third tonight. Was trying to chase down Ryan Kelly. Didn't seem like anybody was going to have anything for Ryan Kelly. Do you think you'd be able to catch him tonight?
Well, on that last run, I got hurt on the restart. I had to fight on the outside and burnt my tires up pretty good. So I had to really fall pretty far back to try to save. And I knew I'd be able to catch them some at the end, and I was taking them off pretty good. And then I ran into a lap car, got squirrely and came right up in front of me on the line, and I had to took my angle away going into one of the corners, ended up
Yeah,
hitting the
we
wall
saw
there.
that.
10 laps left, so that kind of ended the chase. But I wouldn't have got him even if it wasn't for that. But I'd have made it pretty close because I'd saved pretty good. And yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, Dover's a difficult track, and we saw that contact late in the race there. But yeah, it looked like Ryan Kelly was just walking away with it. But you still had a great run tonight. We were noticing, I was noticing throughout the night as the race went, is like you would see some of the leaders up front, and you'd be chasing the guys down, and you'd be having to fight off the rest of the field while you're chasing down the rest of those guys up there, trying to save your tires and everything. Man, you were really trying to fight those guys off back there while you were trying to get up front. I mean, how difficult was it to save tires while you were trying to fight those guys off behind you?
Yeah, I mean, there's some tricks to it. I got hit in the back quite a bit. There at one point, I was getting hit going in about every corner. You just kind of got to time everything. So, if they ever had a run coming off of one of the corners, I would just dive it in hard in the next corner. But yeah, it was difficult. I always find it difficult to understand like why other people don't just do that. Because a lot of those people that were trying to pass me so hard, like, I ended up finishing, way ahead of them because they burnt their tires up when they were stuck behind me anyway.
Exactly.
I'm always thinking, I'm like, if you're going to be stuck behind somebody saving tires, I always wonder why people don't just use that. Like, if I'm ever behind Ryan, I know Ryan's the guy that's going to save a lot of tires. I don't try to pass him. I just stay behind him and save tires with him and go. But yeah, I mean, it was difficult there. I had to keep from wrecking multiple times from the pressure from behind. But yeah, I mean, I knew that's what I had to do. If there's ever a green flag run like there was, I knew that's what it was going to take. So yeah.
It made for an entertaining race, man, definitely, and a great run for you there. Is there anybody you want to thank or anybody you want to mention here that might have been watching the broadcast on this second place finish you got tonight?
Yeah, thanks to the teammates, Ryan and Maxwell. We went 1, 2, 3, so that's always cool. And thanks to y'all for the broadcast. Y'all do a great job on Green White Checker TV. I want to thank Charles for the car, the Area 51 sponsorship on the car. I had to miss the last couple of super speedway races where I'm supposed to be running that car. And so I wanted to run it tonight on a Thursday night and get a good run. And Regal's on that car too. And I know the Regal movie theater in my town is opening back up this week. So yeah, get out and go watch a movie. And yeah, thanks to Admins for putting the league on.
Yeah, that's Chad Wilkes there, the number 17 car, bringing that car home to a second place finish tonight. Congratulations, Chad.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so we've got our second and third place finishers. So that's going to leave our 13 race winner, Ryan Kelly. Again, say Don, once he got control of that restart, so he just pretty much set sail and
walked away with it.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it wasn't an easy one. He had to fight off that 23 Brandon Passalacqua for a while until Brandon's tires burned up a little bit. That was kind of what we had a feeling was going to happen. And so we saw that short run pace of that number 23 car, but we were a little worried about the long run pace of it. And so yeah, sure enough, though, that's what Ryan was able to do. So let's go ahead and pull in our race winner at 13 of Ryan Kelly. So I think that's going to kind of be mission accomplished for you, getting the win. Probably leading the most laps there. And being able to grab a few more points over Maxwell Caldwell going into these final two races. So you guys did a great job there. Obviously, we saw how well you were able to save those tires. Put it to use again here tonight. How critical was it for you though to get the control of that restart there on that last run?
Yeah, I think that might have been what won me the race, beating Brandon off pit road. and then just being able to hold him off. I mean, he gave such a good battle, so shout out to him. That was really fun trying to hold him off, but yeah, it was crucial that I came out first during that pit stop.
Yeah, I'll say it was a really close pit stop between the two of you there on the exit. So I wasn't actually sure who had it on the initial one. But yeah, I mean, I'll say on those initial on the initial runs there, so we saw Brendan sneak out to like a 3-second lead or so. Did that concern you at all? Should we have gone green through that run, or were you figuring that at that point he was going to probably burn his stuff up, and you'd be able to chase him back down?
I wasn't too sure because he had speed in practice too and qualified on the pole, so I knew he was fast, but I was just trying to take care of my stuff in case a real long run did come out like that did, like the one that came out in the end. But yeah, it was a good race overall.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. And I know it's one of the things we harp on it every week about how good you are on the long run, saving those tires. But I mean, again, it's just you show week in, week out that when you get those opportunities to say you can really kind of show for it. So obviously next week we got another shorter track here at Phoenix. Let's say, is that one that you're feeling pretty good about going into it?
Honestly, no. I haven't really raced at Phoenix too many times, but I'll be practicing during the week, and hopefully we can get the car to have the speed it had tonight.
All right, well, so before I let you go, though, of course, got to give you opportunity, thanks and shouts you'd like to give for anybody watching. Of course, I mean, I know you got your teammates, but anybody that helps you bring you to the track on these races, so floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out to my teammates tonight, Chad and Maxwell, and big shout out to Larry, who's been on the pit box with me for the last 7 or 8 races, and haven't had the luck that we've wanted, and it's finally nice to get a win with him on the box.
Yeah, it's always good to have a good helper up top there. Saying obviously Larry is going to be one of the best on that side. So again, great job though, Ryan. Say congrats on the win. Enjoy it. I definitely look forward to catching you in those final 2 races. It's going to be a lot of fun watching you and Maxwell here battle out for the title.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gil.
All right, Don, it's our race winner, Ryan Kelly, doing some burnouts on the front stretch. Before we go through our final standings, though, for the race, any final thoughts on your end for tonight?
Man, that was a fun race to watch. Dover is always a unique race with the concrete surface, short mile that kind of drives like a faster, bigger track there. 3 cautions, like you said, over 100 laps, man, that's nothing for Dover. These guys put on a great race tonight, and it was really fun to watch, actually. So that was a great race.
Yeah, so they did a really good job tonight. It's a really hard track to run in close quarters with other drivers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we did see the one instance of the net code, which is just one of those things that that's how it goes from time to time, unfortunately. But with that being said, though, we got to pull up our race results here. So again, we had a chat with our top 3 there. Ryan Kelly, Chad Wilkes, Maxwell Caldwell. Brandon Passalacqua, our pole sitter, had a great run tonight. Just didn't have the long run speed he was hoping for in that number 23 Ford Mustang. Howard brings it home in 4th position. And you see Mark Brown, Robbie Richards able to hold off be the last 2 on the lead lap. Again, just shows the pace of that 13 of Ryan Kelly. So you see running out the top 10, you see Dalton Hayes recovering well from that incident, brings it home in 7th. You got Jason Bridges with top 10 and 8th. Todd Merkel, you see Jim Brooks able to recover to a 10th place position after making that green flag pit stop. Maybe kind of rethinking that strategy after nobody else, for the most part, made that pit stop with him. So, but still a good recovery for him as well. And then you got the remainder of the field here. Michael Spell, Jack Walls, Charles Johnson, Corey Lane, James Ledford, Doug Johnson. And then the remainder is you got Art Peck, Nicholas Winook, Mike Morrison, and Diego Vasquez. So that's it for tonight. We'll be back on Sunday for the Super Speedway Cup Series. Same thing there. We got 3 to go entering that week's that race over there. So looking forward to it. We've got some more teammates battling out for the title in that series. So that being said, though, hope you all have a wonderful evening tonight. Happy Friday Eve. Until Sunday, if you can, try to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and until Sunday, have a good night.